All organisations have environmental, social and economic impacts, both positive and negative. Universities need to buy goods and services in order that they can function, and the things that they buy are a large part of these impacts. Procurement teams are uniquely placed to help organisations demonstrate that they are buying responsibly, sustainably or ethically. They may call it different things. They can do this by demonstrating that they are contributing to institutional goals, to regional and local level goals, or even to larger global goals such as the Sustainable Development Goals. Drivers for sustainability can be legislative, things like the Social Value Act, Modern Slavery Act. They can be reputational, responding to student demand, but they're most likely to be teams wanting to demonstrate excellence. For the university sector, procurement excellence is demonstrated through the Procurement Maturity Assessment, or PMA, and sustainability is a central criteria of that activity. Sustainable procurement is best understood as having the most positive environmental, social and economic impacts, at the same time as striving to reduce any negative impacts through the life cycle of that product or service being purchased. Sustainable procurement is not a standalone activity. It's not different from or separate to excellent procurement, which means it needs to be considered as part of policy, process and practice. It is not something that can be delivered by a single champion. It needs to be part of the roles and responsibilities of the whole procurement team, and ideally those beyond the team as well. There needs to be accountability and transparency from the highest level of the organisation right down to those buying or specifying goods and services on behalf of the university. The key to sustainable procurement is clarity of communication. The team need to know exactly what it is they're trying to achieve and how they'll be able to show that they've done it. This is just as true for communicating your team narrative as it is when you are specifying an individual procurement. Sustainable procurement is also wider than just the procurement team. You need to also be thinking about your internal stakeholders, your specifiers, your internal customers, as well as your external stakeholders, your suppliers and even their suppliers.
So what does excellent sustainable procurement look like in a university? Well, if I walked into a university tomorrow, this is how we'd be able to tell. Firstly, we'd have a very clear organisational commitment to sustainability. And in that clear commitment, it would probably refer to procurement as one of the delivery mechanisms. Secondly, most organisations have some sort of procurement strategy. And that procurement strategy must have a commitment to the sustainability impacts and issues and considerations of the university clearly woven throughout that document. Organisations, universities now, are developing category strategies in more detail. And these category strategies should link back to the sustainable procurement strategy and identify the pertinent environmental, social and economic issues, both positive and negative, that are relevant to that category. And they'll be unique and they'll be bespoke. Most importantly, what we'd expect to see is that the key environmental and social issues are embedded at the right stages within the procurement processes. This is everything from the development of the specification, through to the tender evaluation, through to the contract award, through to contract management and supplier development. So we'd be able to pick that documentation up and it's written all the way through there for anyone to see. And lastly, in the relationship with the suppliers in terms of both the challenge and the development of those around sustainability, we'd see the key issues writ large in terms of the environmental and economic and social issues that are relevant to that business.
We know that sustainable procurement embedded correctly will help you improve your process and practice, but it does take a little bit of time to bring everybody up to speed.